Let's look in more detail at the impact of the Latino vote for Donald Trump. Now, throughout this race, it appeared that Kamala Harris was ahead with Hispanic voters, but Donald Trump's support among this group increased by more than 10 percentage points compared to 2020. In particular, Trump has won a significant increase in support from male Latino voters, up 18 points on 2020. And Donald Trump also saying that he has an unprecedented mandate with those numbers. Let's speak now to Maria Hinojosa, Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist and founder of Futuro Media. Maria, really good to have you with us. These are extraordinary numbers if you look at the way that the Latino vote has developed. And of course, you know, this is not something entirely new. We've seen this trend over several years. But how do you describe the pattern that we saw in this election?
Well, there was a lot of misinformation and disinformation aimed very directly at Latino and Latina voters, whether in English or in Spanish. And this is something that I ended up reporting about, so I was able to witness firsthand. What do I mean by this? There was a barrage of YouTube, X, WhatsApp communications over the year, really, talking about how Donald Trump was an amazing businessman who knew what he was doing and was going to be able to fix the American economy, even at a time when, while inflation was happening, the economy in and of itself was growing and stable. Latinos connected with this. They heard the message about a country that, according to Trump, is having a huge economic collapse, and that he was going to be the person who was going to save it. And Latinos felt that the economy was their primary issue, and they believed what they were being told.
Well, Maria, can I ask you this? Because, you know, indeed, one of the criticisms of Democrats right now is that they continue to treat Hispanic voters as an identity group, where it is now such a broad and deep part of the U.S. that they do vote along the same lines as other populations on the economy, on crime, on public safety.
Well, yes, but if you spoke to Latinos as Latinos actually using identity, a different conversation could have happened, right? The Democrats failed to meet that barrage of misinformation coming from the Trump campaign and right-wing sources. They failed to meet that with another vision. In other words, saying to Latino voters, precisely Kamala Harris, the daughter of immigrants, saying, I see you as immigrants. I see all the positivity that you bring. I see what Latinos contribute to the country. I see what you have done in terms of growing the economy. I understand that immigrants are not a drain. They're not criminals.
Okay.
They actually build the economy. If they would have given a different voice to the issue, we might have gotten a different result, but they didn't.
So let me ask you this, Maria, because as I said, it's not a new trend. In 2016, Hillary Clinton winning Hispanic voters by a margin of 38 percentage points. By 2020, Joe Biden's margin had shrunk to 33 points. So we're talking also beyond this election cycle. What is it that Democrats, you think, are missing in the broader sense, not just in this cycle?
Well, you have to understand that the Latino population writ large in the United States is the second largest voting cohort in the country. So what I've been saying over the past year is that you have to pay attention to the second largest voting cohort, because the numbers are not looking good. They're not looking in your favor. Instead of doing creative possibilities to find a different message, one that could connect, the Democratic Party, one, failed to meet that challenge, and two, did not have an alternative vision for Latino voters. They needed to take it seriously, and in my view, they didn't. And by the way, there's a lot of finger pointing that can go around. Honestly, in the US, my mainstream media colleagues treated this like a normal election. It was not a normal election. You have somebody who is a convicted felon, who talks like an authoritarian, who speaks dangerously. They might have wanted to meet that.
We have to leave it there, Maria, but really interesting to get your perspective. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.